Go, okay.
So hi everyone, this is another IDS webinar. We have direct static restoration with Elio today, which is one of the IDS students who who used to and still is um, participating in IDS programs. Probably most of you know him because he's so amazing as his job and what he do. So, and I have seen his actually direct composite restorations, which was totally amazing. So we have the honor to hear his presentation today, and we thank you for his time. So I'm just gonna right now forward you to him on behalf of the International Association of Dental Students. I again thank you for being here live with us.
Hello, guys.
And we will go to Elio right now.
Yeah, hello, guys. Thank you. Thank you for your introduction. For me, of course, it's a great pleasure to be, guys, one more time with you. Unfortunately, today we cannot see each other. We're not close each other, but we can talk, and we are here to share. And it is, I think that it's something very amazing that we can share and discuss about techniques and case. So actually, when they asked me to prepare this presentation, we agreed on direct composite restoration. So I decided to present a couple of cases of posterior and a couple of cases of anterior. But then, almost 1 week ago, when I had a Skype call with the organizers, I felt they were much more interested on direct anterior restoration. So I decided to focus this presentation on this topic. So about direct anterior restoration, there are so many things to talk about. Maybe one day wouldn't be enough, but we have only 45 minutes. So I'll skip almost every kind of introduction, and in order to share with you as much as possible. So I have to be very, very fast. And sorry, guys, for my English. I know that is not brilliant, but I think that you can easily understand me. So let me just introduce myself very quickly. So that's my hometown in Vicenza, in the northeast of Italy, and that's where I'm working. And here there is the university where I'm working as demonstrator, University of Cagliari. And here it is the place where I am attending my master course in orthodontics. So, however, I have to make just one little introduction. And there is something that we have to make clear, very, very clear. First of all, we are doctor, so we have to take care of our patients' health. And we have to work to provide them the best treatment possible. So how can we do it? Basically, the first step, just identifying the right diagnosis. And to do it, we just need to use our eyes, our hands, and our brain. Of course, we helped by some tools like perioprobe, X-rays, and whatever. But what I mean is, doesn't matter if we do restorative only, endo, or ortho only. What I mean is that we need to be able to formulate the right diagnosis. So then the treatment plan can be an interdisciplinary treatment plan. So we can we can work with some other specialists, and for sure it would be the best option if needed. So we can have several treatment plans, but the right diagnosis is only one. And I want that it is very, very clear. So we can approach our treatment plan, our treatment in several ways, but the right diagnosis, sorry, is one, only one. So we can work with several people with a very big or small team, but we cannot miss the diagnosis. Otherwise, all of our treatments will fail for sure. So today, we are talking about aesthetics. Actually, it's not as easy as it seems. You know, sometimes patients come to us asking for veneers just because they heard about it. But maybe actually they don't even need it, or maybe not only veneer. So it is so important to analyze not only the smile, but the whole face, the profile, listen the patients when they are talking, looking at their lips, their chin, their eyes, their movement. So one more time, what we need? We need to formulate the right diagnosis to have, in this case, a total aesthetic approach, not only for the shape, not only for the color, but for the entire smile, and in particular for the entire face. It is something that I'm working very hard on it. And I saw that the interdisciplinary team, it's so important in this, in particular the restorative approach and the orthodontist approach. So as today we're talking just about restorative, and I have to be fast because I still have to start and I'm already late. So the restorative dentist, today we're going to see how to manipulate light, color, shape, and form to create an aesthetic outcome. So I'm gonna skip it, guys, this introduction, because we don't have time. Just showing you the all kind of dental adhesive system we have, and these, I hope you can see these arrows. So nowadays this one, so the self-etch multi-step is considered by the literature the best one, and this one the worst one, the total etch with primer bonding all together. And it's funny because it is the most spread in all around the world. But I'm telling you something else, that the best adhesive system in the world is another one, and is this one that I'm showing you right now. So it doesn't matter actually about the adhesive that you are working with. So important is the rubber dam. Why the rubber dam? Because with rubber dam is the only way we have to fully control the humidity, fully control the contamination. And not only, if we use a rubber dam, we are much more focused on our restoration, on our cavity. And as well, we can be much faster, sorry guys, because we can treat several teeth just in one time. So I think that it's something that it's mandatory. Rubber dam always, not only in our private office, but as well rubber dam everywhere. Here I was this fall, I was in India for a voluntary project, and you can see me and my buddies. And here I'm treating this guy. Actually, I remember him. We treated 3 or 4 teeth in one step with rubber dam, because in that way I've been faster and more precise. So of course, what we want is the best treatment as possible for our patients, and we cannot achieve it without rubber dam. And It was last year in Nepal, and again this year in India. So let's talk about the color very quickly. So we can talk about the color. First of all, the hue. Hue is just the name of the color: red, orange, yellow. And chroma is the saturation or the intensity of the hue. It's what actually changed during the bleaching. And chroma is a characteristic of the dentin in particular. Value is about the lightness or the darkness of the color, and is a characteristic in particular of the enamel. So let's go fast. Let's see some layering technique. And nowadays, we have two kind of layering technique for anterior. Depends on what kind of composite do you want to work with. So we have a little bit more complicated steps and technique, or another one a little bit easier. So on the first one, if we use a guide, of course, the first layer is always enamel. Then we use an opaque that usually the name is AO and some numbers, AO2, AO3, whatever. Then another mask named dentin or body, and then the final layer of enamel. The simplified technique that we can achieve with only some kind of composite. We have enamel, just one dentin or body, and finally enamel. So, and as well, depends on the composite that you want, you like to work with. With some composite, it's better to have a rounded bevel. With other composite, it's better to have straight bevel. So study the composite you like, study the composite you are working with, and learn how to use it the best way. So we can see, for instance, a simplified technique in that way, just enamel, then dentin, just a little bit of super color, and the final result. Then let's see the most common mistake that we can see every day, unfortunately. So the most common mistake are, first of all, the value. You can see here. Let's see how we can avoid this kind of mistake. So this kind of mistake is due to too much enamel or too less dentin or body. On the opposite side, too much chroma. Too much chroma is, on the other hand, too much body and not enough enamel. But the real most common mistake is, unfortunately, the wrong anatomy. And as you can see from this picture, I took this picture from a book, and this picture, unfortunately, is one patient of mine that came from another country, but doesn't matter the country. Everywhere you can find something very good and something pretty horrible. It's not a temporary bridge, it's a zirconia one. But what we don't like, of course, there are so many bad things. For instance, it's not very easy to keep it clean and not very precise, but as well, the anatomy is awful. It's not very natural. It's not nice at all. It's not good. So why anatomy is so important? Anatomy, I think that when we do restorative dentistry, is the key. Is way more important than the shade. Everyone is talking about shade. You think about shade, are so afraid. Everyone is so afraid about shade. Is not the key, actually. If we want to achieve something very natural, we need to study and to take care about the anatomy. So let's see the anatomy, for instance, of the central incisor. Just look the beauty, look the natural, so we can appreciate the lobes, the mamelons, the horizontal lines, as well the transitional lane angle, the vertical grooves, as well the incisal margin, or as well the lingual fossa, the distal margin surface that is a little bit shorter and more rounded, respect of the opposite side, and as well, very, very important, the curve trend of the CJ. But we don't have to be focused only on the buccal surface of the frontal teeth, but as well, we need to check 3D anatomy. It's so important for aesthetics and function. There is no aesthetics actually about the function. So let's see a little bit other thing about the anatomy very quickly. For instance, the contact area, we can see that the contact areas are longer between the central incisor, and then they become a little bit shorter and shorter. And as well, we can see the axis of the teeth, so important for natural, for aesthetic outcome, and embrasure. And the embrasure are these little black triangle formed between the mesial and the distal ridge of the neighbor teeth. And we can see that they become wider going distally. And as well, very, very important, are the transitional line angles. They mark the transition from the from the buccal surface to the mesial or cervical or distal surface. They are essential to characterize our restoration because they interact so much with the light. So we can just with some little adjustments, we can make a tooth to appear wider, narrower, smaller, larger, older, younger, just making some little change. And we can see that we are playing, we can say that we are playing with the light, just creating an illusion. And so let's move on. So that's the dental office where I'm working most of the time. You can see how I work. So I have one camera here, one screen with the intraoral camera here. Sometimes I need to put some picture to guide me working. And here you can see my loops and my camera. Let's see the first case, a very easy one, just a very young guy that came to me because he had one broken frontal lower incisor. So very easy case that we did in a very easy and very quick way with the simplified layering technique. And here we are. Another case, very easy one. This very young girl, she came to me after ortho treatment because she didn't like the black triangle and the wrong embrasure. It's not a difficult case, just it's not very easy to manage this very tiny space without touching in any way the teeth with the burr. As well, one more time, simplified layering technique. And the first case that I want to share with you, four entire case if we have time. This one is the first one. This one I showed this case in Madrid as well for the guys who attended my lecture and who know me knows that I love to share my case with a lot of video, because I'm working with a lot of videos with my patient as well. But actually, the organizers asked me to avoid video in this presentation, just to be sure that we will not have any connection problem and you can enjoy the whole presentation. So I made some screenshot on video, and actually I left a couple of videos, but they are not so crucial. So if you cannot see them, doesn't matter. So let's go, because as usual, we are in late and we have so many things to talk about. So this woman, so this is, for instance, a case where I did a total aesthetic approach. So we decided to go for ortho, and only at the end for veneer, ceramic veneer. But then she decided to don't do any ortho treatment. So it became kind of challenge. And finally, she decided to, unfortunately, she saw a couple of my direct composite restoration. So she asked me to say, oh, sorry, I have, if we, okay, sorry, I just received a message from, a message from one of the organizers. Okay, anyway, so she asked me to go for direct composite veneer, so even more tricky, but that's what we did. So I want to share with you this case. So we can see some old bad restoration that we need to remove, but let's start with some smile analysis. And one more time, guys, I'm sorry, I'm not sharing with you my patient's face, because it's not only, this one is not only a conference, it's actually a webinar in all over the world. So I prefer just to cover my patient's face. I know that unfortunately for aesthetics is not amazing, but I think that you can understand. So let's do some smile analysis, check the teeth proportion, and go with our project. Okay, so we have a project to ameliorate the smile and, of course, the entire face. So let's start. So I recorded this procedure with a camera mounted on my loops, and I presented a poster more than 1 year ago in Barcelona about this technique to share in real time our work. And oh, sorry, there is some music. And so maybe the quality of the video is not amazing, but the cool thing is that we have the same point of view of the clinician. So it's pretty cool, I think. So let's see. First of all, I gently removed the old restoration. Then I clean everything, because we want everything clean and smooth, even before to etch the tooth surface. And then I tried my guide. Then, okay, you can see that I have the first layer of composite. What I'm doing here? Here, I'm opening the contact area, because there were some old composite as well in the contact area, and I decided to remake it, because I want to have my composite to have a nice aesthetic outcome, as well, in particular, as I showed you before, for the anatomy, for not only for the shade, but in particular for the shape. Then you can see how I'm revealing the contact area. And then at the end, when I finish the restoration, how I'm cleaning everything. In this picture, you can see that I'm using a ceramic burr. It's something that I really like because it is a little bit more gentle compared to the other burrs with the soft tissue. And so it's something that I really like. And when we do composite restoration, or even when we bond a veneer or a crown, or uh, basically everything, we need to be very, very sure that the soft tissue are very clean. It's mandatory. We need an healthy periodontium to support our beautiful teeth. Otherwise, we are wasting our time and we are not taking care of our patient's health. And finally, at the end of the first appointment, of course, I'm making everything smooth. And it's the end of the first appointment. Do we like it? No, not really. The color is not cool, but not only the shade, but in particular the shape. But it's just the end of the first appointment. I'm gonna see the patient couple of days later to finish it, and let's see how we can make some teeth like this, making them very natural and very good. So let's see one more time what we did. The very tiny teeth preparation. And finally, so we need to, so we studied a lot anatomy. We have a project in our mind, so let's make it real. So with just with a pencil, we can mark the tooth surface we want to change, we want to ameliorate. So let's start making some vertical grooves, as well changing the shape of the ridge, and as well all of the surface are literally modeled by our tools. And then we have to make everything clean, smooth, and shining. So one more time, we need to clean everything. And finally, with the diamond paste, we can gloss everything. And at the end, if we want to be very, very sure that we made a good work, in particular, a clean work, we have to make everything dry and check it. If we can see any, any line, something with that, even with the Explorer, we can feel, so it means that there is something wrong. Not a shame, just take your time and make it cool. So we can see the difference on the smile. The canine are still a little bit longer, but unfortunately, she denied to cut them a little bit, and I couldn't made the lateral, the central incisor even longer, because they would have became not cool, not nice at all, not natural at all. So yeah, that's what we achieved. The beginning, the end of the first appointment, and finally. Let's see one more case. This young guy, he came very young. He came because he didn't like his teeth shape. So let's see what we can do for him. First of all, diagnosis and treatment plan. So let's do a little bit of smile analysis. We need to to check the teeth proportion. And then when we have a plan, we can start to work on it. And very easy case here as well. We just need to add some dentin or body, and then some enamel, and play, as I just showed you, play with the shape, the vertical grooves, the embrasure, to make it natural. And let's see. So that's the beginning, that's our project, and that's what we achieved. And he was pretty happy about the results. We can do something like that in just one appointment. It wasn't so difficult like the previous case. And let's move to another case. As you can see, I want to share with you guys several cases, that a couple of cases, sorry, that all of them are so different each other. So this case, this very, very young girl, and with so bad cavities. So we need to ask ourselves why. There is always something behind teeth like this. So one more time, so important, the right diagnosis, not only for our treatment plan, but in particular in this case for the follow-up. Because if they are just cavities, I'm gonna prepare a kind of follow-up program. But if she's having a very bad, very not bad treatment plan, very hard treatment like chemotherapy, so my follow-up plan, of course, is gonna be different. And if these cavities are just because for some food problem, like a lot of sugar and a lot of acid diet as well, my follow-up would be another follow-up plan. So let's see what we can do for her. So as well, the diagnosis is only one, but the treatment plan is interdisciplinary. So of course, first of all, we need to make this mouth healthy, and then we can as well plan an ortho treatment. Okay, so now we can see that the teeth look a little bit longer because first of all, I removed the plaque and the calculus, and then with the laser I did some gingivoplastic just to expose healthy enamel in order to restore those teeth. And we can see the teeth on the rubber dam and the smile after the treatment. This case, I still have to finish it because we had a pretty longer appointment to restore the teeth you just saw. And so I need to finish it, to polish it, and to make it very shiny, glossy, and natural. So, but we can see the very bad start point. And right now, you can see I need to ameliorate the lateral shape as well, to make some vertical grooves, to make it smooth. And we can see as well, still there is some inflammation. So, but I wanna take my time to let her to learn how to brush very well, and then I'll finish it. And I'm just reminding you that there is a huge difference between the first composite layering, so at the end of the first appointment, and on the second. Just to remind you the difference of the previous patients. So it was the end of the first appointment, and it is the real final outcome. So let's move with another one case. This case, as well, I still have to finish. It's almost done, and is one case that is different from the other. And we can see immediately very young girl, and we can see that there is some problem with the shape of the natural teeth. So as well, it would be a perfect case for an interdisciplinary treatment plan, but actually she couldn't afford it. So, but I wanted to help her, and she really wanted to change her smile. So let's see what we can do for her. So first of all, as usual, let's make some smile analysis, and let's check the teeth proportion. And we can see that they are pretty good, not so bad as proportion. So let's make our treatment plan. And then I made gingivoplastic as well with gingivectomy with laser, because there were too much soft tissue. Of course, as I told you before, first of all, diagnosis. So I want to precise that I respected, and I'm every time that I'm working with soft tissue, it's mandatory to check biologic width, not only biologic width, but the entire periodontium. So all of us, of course, know what is biologic width. Why it's so important to respect, to preserve it for everything. Basically, to support our restoration, to support teeth, but in particular the teeth, our restoration, but as well for aesthetic. If we don't respect biologic width, we are going to have inflammation. In some cases, we are going to have some migration of gingiva. So it's very important to be careful and respect the soft tissue. In this case, we were in front of a classic case of APE. You know that there are four types of alterated passive eruption. But basically, just because we are in late as usual, to make everything easy, just we can divide it in two groups. So we can see here just not gummy smile at all, healthy periodontum, and healthy gum. In this case, we can see just too much gingiva and too much soft tissue. And in this case, not only the good proportion with soft tissue, but too much hard tissue. So the bone crest is over or almost touching the CJ. So basically, if you want to make it very easy, maybe too easy, we can divide the IPE in two kinds. The one where we need to do ostectomy and orthoplastic, and the other one that we just need to do gingivectomy. So this case was just the easy case, and so I just needed to do some gingivectomy with laser. Let's move back to the case. And so we can see the start point, and we can see our result at almost the end of the treatment. And but let's make it bigger to appreciate what I did, what we made. And we can see right now. So why I'm telling you that it's not ended. I'm still waiting for this case, because for me a case is not ended until the whole tissue are 100% recovered. So I'm waiting for the healing of the soft tissue that we normally have when we do such a big restoration, to change something if needed. So let's see her new smile. She's pretty happy. She's pretty amazed by her new teeth. And let's see a couple of more picture. But yeah, work still in progress. Why? Because as dentists, as a restorative dentist, we need to be very mean with ourselves. We really need to look for our mistake. We really need to want to ameliorate our work every day, day by day. For instance, right now I can see something that I would like to change. Thank God, just the little stuff. But for instance, I'm gonna change this embrasure, and as well I'm gonna change this transitional line angle, and as well other little stuff. For instance, I'm gonna ameliorate this white spot that I made with super color. I know they are very tiny thing, and the patient is super happy, but why don't make it as best as possible as we can? So I'm just waiting for the healing of the soft tissue, and this healing is going to be very, very fast, because I've been super clean and super smooth close when I worked close to the gingiva. So pretty soon I can show you the final result of this case. So sorry guys for the music. So it, it is my email and my Facebook account. If you want to write me, if you want to ask me something, you of course are more than welcome. And uh, these this is the results of the first case I presented you. And what I wanna really tell you guys is try to do your best every day, and if your outcome are not such amazing, if you are not okay with them, it's fine. It's fine. Of course, we need to learn. We are learning. I'm still learning. Everyone will learn for his entire life. So don't be too mean with yourself. Be positive and work a lot in your university, work a lot in your private practice, and try a lot. Try a lot in the lab, try a lot in the model, try to mix some composite, some dentist, to polish it, to make some anatomy, try to use the super color, and enjoy restorative. It is something so amazing, because we can really change the patient's life. We just need to think that the eyes and the smile are the two parts in our face that really characterize our expression. So they have a huge impact in social life and relationship. So having the ability and the knowledge, the technical skills to correct, to improve a smile, making it harmonious can really change the patient's life. So it's so amazing what we can do. And so I really want, sorry guys, to thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoyed this lecture, and I do hope to meet you and to see you around the world. Thank you again. So, Sean, I finished on
Hi.
time.
Thank you, Elio, for your amazing presentation. I really love it. Um, so, I mean, now you said that you had some videos.
But actually, I made some screenshot for them, so it would be redundant right now if I play them. So it's fine.
Oh, it's
Let's
fine.
move from let's move to the question.
Okay. So, like viewers, I'm gonna ask you to write your questions as a comment on our Facebook page. And under the live video, you can write a comment, and I'm gonna ask Elio the questions. And also on our YouTube live link, you can write both comments, like either on YouTube or either on Facebook. And I'm gonna ask Elio. Okay. So I'm
Okay.
just gonna like view like 1 minute, like then to begin with the questions and let them write. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
And I love your presentation. I have to say that I put your the before after picture of your first case
Excuse me.
on my desk background right now.
And yeah, all of them, of course, are direct composite because it was the topic of the lecture. Maybe next time we are gonna have a veneer presentation.
Maybe I just loved it. I just put this same picture like on the my Mac, which I loved it. Okay, we have received one comment from Guil,
Yeah.
or
But
if I'm
can
pronouncing
I
correct.
see the question, or I just can hear the.
I'm just gonna read you, but probably you have
Okay.
to somehow understand it because it's in Italian, and I cannot read it maybe correctly. It's from Guil, Smell or Small or something. It's written muchas gracias, Spanish, right? Not even Italian.
No, it's Spanish, but
Spanish, yeah. Muchas gracias por compartir tan hermosa información. Muy interesante. Maybe, probably is he's saying a
very
very
interesting. Yeah.
and Abanob, our editor, has written, "Thank you, Elio. Very informative lecture." But guys, come on! If you have any questions, just write it immediately because this video call will end soon, and
Yeah,
Elio
because
is not gonna be here forever.
you gave me such a short lecture, but I'm glad that actually I made it. I actually I had to skip so many things, so many, but I hope that you enjoyed it anyway, guys.
Yeah, it was perfect. So I'm just gonna wait 1 more minute, and if we had no questions, we're gonna finish it. Ellie, are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. No problem.
There was just like such a constant, quiet, silent moment.
And one more time. Guys, sorry for my English. I know that it's not very good, and as well, sorry because I'm kind of sick. I got a cold, so sometimes I know that my voice wasn't super good. But anyway,
Your voice was amazing, as your work.
thank you, Sean.
Okay, Vincenzo, which I think we both know him. He wrote, always happy to see my friend Elio talking about composites and restorative. Thanks for the lecture. Thank you, Vincenzo, for
No,
your
thank you,
comment.
Vincenzo. So, guys, basically, if you have any questions, of course, feel free to ask. And if you will have any questions, maybe during the next days, no problem. Feel free to write me or to ask me, of course, or to
Yeah,
Sean as well.
yeah, definitely. You can contact both the ISO, which is me, and Elio, the speaker, if you had any questions in the future. And since we did not had any questions so far, I'm going to finish the webinar. And for future questions, you can contact Elio or me. Doesn't matter. I'm going to forward the questions to him. And I have to thank you, Elio, again for your amazing lecture on behalf of International Association of Dental Students. And as International Scientific Officer of the association, I thank all of our viewers. And I have to also congratulate the association and Elio, since we beat the Coachman webinar record. And we had, I mean, like, we never had this number of viewers ever before in IDS webinars history ever.
Really? No
So,
way.
yeah. So we beat the record this time. And I'm really congratulating the association, myself, and you.
Thank you, guys.
That,
I wish,
managed-
thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Sean. And thank you for this
Mhm.
opportunity to share my presentation with you guys. I love this association. I love you guys. And I just wanna wish everyone an amazing weekend. And one more time, hope to see you around the world.
Yeah, Malik also just like wrote a comment. Thank you, Professor Boschetti.
Yeah, Boschetti.
Boschetti, sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so
It's fine, no
bad in
problem.
reading. So International Association of Dental Students, everyone, it's here for you and will be here for you in the future for our future. Tune in for the January webinar. We have Will Krejci, and it's going to be an amazing webinar as well in January. Tune in for more information. You can contact ISO. And don't forget that together is better. Have
Definitely.
a good evening, everyone.